Okay, so Miss Hazel's learning calm default of I just stand still, keep my head to myself, and the treats come randomly. I don't have to think, I don't have to problem solve. I just stand here, clicks happen, and then treats happen. Good. Good. Good girl. Yeah, you're sucking the fingers right in there, huh? You're good at that. You're very cute. I know. All right. Walk around a little. So the really nice thing about working with a horse with this level of training, and she's halter trained and she leads and picks up her feet and things like that, but she still has this baseline level of fear. That means that she likes having a good space bubble too. So if we can work with that and just maintain this space bubble, and then once she does get really excited and comfortable around people, then she won't be in the habit of being in our space. She'll learn this is the distance at which training happens. It happens when we keep our heads nice and straight and we're standing relaxed. Oh, I know, there was a unicycle. Yeah, that's kind of scary, huh? And then that way we don't have to undo anything of like, oh, they like us too much now, and trying to reduce the amount of the pendulum swinging between totally wild and terrified versus a horse that understands a nice safe space boundary. Good girl. Can we walk towards the camera so the camera can see your pretty face? Very nice. So like, ooh, got my finger a little that one. I know, we're still learning. We're still learning. You're doing great. Hi. See, she's already creeping closer. But then she's like, oh wait, no, space bubble. Space bubble. Good. You feel bad. You crunched my finger. That happens. That happens when we're learning. Good girl. Good. Good. 3, 2, 1. And since she's learning, oh, I just stand here and treats happen. I don't have to worry about like extinction bursts or trying every behavior in her repertoire, because right now she doesn't have a positive reinforcement repertoire. This is the only behavior she knows so far in this one session is I just stand still and do nothing. And so now I don't have to worry about space bubble or extinction bursts. I can just start from this really nice baseline of personal space and treat receiving in the right position where the food comes to her, and she's learning she doesn't need to be in my space at all to get treats. In fact, she doesn't have to do anything to get treats. They just keep coming. So, good girl. Good. 3, 2, 1. Which also makes it a great time to teach her about countdowns. So like the same way we charge the clicker, and I didn't catch it on camera, but the first time I used the clicker, the noise scared her and she jumped. And people sometimes will say, oh my gosh, I can't use a clicker with my horse. My horse is afraid of clickers. But it was literally 3 clicks later, she was like, wait, I love that noise. So don't get gun shy if they have one big spook. You can also hold it behind your back, muffle it a little bit, and they get used to it pretty quickly. But anyways, so like charging the clicker so that she understands that noise means food's gonna be delivered to me is equally important in our training as understanding that the countdown sometimes precedes that clicker. So that cadence of good, 3, 2, 1. I can teach her that so she learns that 3 predicts 2, which predicts 1, which predicts click. I know, you're very cute. Hi. Good girl. Good girl. Good. 3, 2, 1. So now, normally when I teach this, it's usually with a horse that has a bigger behavior repertoire and is going to try to just like throw different behaviors to try to get the click, not realizing that the 3, 2, 1 countdown is part of that. So this is such a great opportunity to teach her all of the basics that she needs without worrying about her going into any other behavior to try to get food. There you go, sweetie. Good. 3, 2, 1. And also just standing and waiting, and while she's in that nice position, randomly clicking. So some people like countdowns to build duration, and some people prefer to just not have a countdown and have it be a little bit more organic. I find that there's time for each, but especially with calm default, we do want them to know that if we're not cueing a behavior, just stand there even if I'm not counting. But it's a great way to teach the countdown for when we're doing things like hoof care, things that are a little scary that she needs to know, how long am I committing to this? Good. 3, 2, 1. Good. 3, 2, 1. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the reason we count down and not up is so they know how many seconds we're going to expect out of them. So if I start with 1, I could count to infinity. She doesn't know that. But if I start with 5, she knows that there's a distinct order of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then the food is delivered after that click. So she's learning that, oh, okay, I'm committing to 5 seconds of this particular behavior. And it provides a lot of clarity, which can be really helpful. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good girl. You're doing great. I know. There is a unicycle zooming by, and this girl's already doing great with that. I know. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And she started drifting her head over to the side, but it was because she's following the unicycle, not because, so sometimes when we teach calm default, they're like, oh, head away, and they whip their head all the way to the other way, and we're like, no, head straight. But sometimes you have to take that head too far away to get that clarity around the behavior. So this time, she was actually turning her head away further because she's following a person on a unicycle. All right, let's see. Yep, and it keeps beeping, and she keeps looking over. Yeah, you're doing great. And you're not afraid of the clicker at all anymore, are you? You're going to do so well with this. There's dogs wandering around. There's all sorts of stuff going on over there that's a little bit distracting. But this is a really good first session. I think we're just going to stop right there. Give her a nice little jackpot. There you go. And now get your dinner.